Hello, 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 humanity, back once again. I said I'd get started early. I'm feeling in a way. I know if I don't get it done. Have you ever had those days where you know if you don't get it done early, it possibly just won't get done? So yesterday I came with the good and bad news. I hadn't exercised in in 3 days, and then I got back to it. Well, this morning, shockingly enough, to even myself, I started early and got my exercises in, and then I thought to myself, why not go on and get my posting in as well, so I can get caught up. I have so many recipes, humanity, that I wanted to bring to you guys, and it seems like it's always something. So I said, since I managed to get my exercises in, I said maybe I can bring you another one of the recipes that I did last night. Remember I told you yesterday I've really been eating pretty reckless because I just didn't feel much like cooking. I really didn't feel a lot like cooking yesterday either, but I managed to put something together, and I was glad of it too, because I was eating reckless again yesterday, but not as much as I did before. But anyway, with that being said, I wanted to, I guess you say, here I go again with these movies. I'm hoping that this will be the last time that I use this analogy to tie in what I wanted to say real briefly. I have another run that I have to get going in about 3 or 4 minutes. So I'm going to make this real quick. Anyway, I was watching a movie yesterday, right? And so humanity, you have to forgive me. I'm standing and I'm still trying to get in a few steps as I'm talking to you. So if I sound kind of winded, that's why. But anyway, to make a long story short, I was watching a movie yesterday, and I really enjoyed it. And it was about a young couple. They had it was part two, as a matter of fact, of a movie that I really liked. And so what happened was, both of the couples allowed themselves to be drawn away from the marriage, and it started with the young lady. She was just so lured by a friend that wasn't actually a friend, and she just kept taking her away from the home, taking her away from the things that she and her husband shared together. And she was not conscious of the fact that this particular friend, let me reiterate, she wasn't a friend, but she kept drawing her away, and the husband would come home, she wouldn't be there. The husband loved sharing meals with her. She wasn't there to share the meals, and he could see it, and she couldn't. And he was constantly trying to pull her coattail, and make her aware, but she didn't. She just couldn't see it. She was so, basically almost enamored with this, her fictitious, in her mind, because that's what it was, a fictitious friendship. The girl wasn't a friend. But anyway, to make a long story short, the husband grew tired of, trying to convince her that she wasn't her friend, and that, they were missing valuable quality time together. So anyway, to make a long story short, the husband ends up in an affair. He gets tired of, waiting on his wife, longing for his wife, longing for their time, and la-di-da-di-da-di. So anyway, to make a long story short, I'm not telling the story to say this one is right, this one is wrong. Life is life. But, and I try to, not judge, but I have to give you a brief synopsis of what the film was about to get you to this point that I'm trying to make. Anyway, after he had gotten in so deep and he couldn't see his way out, it was almost like watching someone in a forest, in a wilderness, I guess I should say. And so after he got into this wilderness and he found himself lost, he couldn't find his way. And so it took a loved one, and his longing for his wife, his longing for help, I guess I should say. And when he reached out for help, the help was available, and the story ended wonderfully, and what have you. So, that's it. But I wanted to draw on the fact that you could look at at him in this particular scene. It was fiction, of course, but you could look at his face, and he depicted an individual that was lost and in the wilderness so beautifully that it just really drew my attention to remember when I first started out. Remember when I told you I was in that recliner for like, what, 17, 18 hours, and that's not an over exaggeration. That's an absolute truth. I had energy drinks lined up. You remember the story. Literally, I needed that just to do the basics. Uh, it was really, really hard. And that wilderness scene brought me back to the fact that I remembered being in that recliner, and it was dark, and I only had the TV on, and I had the shades pulled back. We were up on the upper level of the building, so the street lights, they came flooding in, and it was really, really a beautiful image. But nevertheless, I can remember sitting there and feeling the way this actor's face depicted wilderness. I really, I just didn't know, I didn't know what to do. I didn't know how to get out, and as I told you, I still don't know what that was. A cold flu. I just really, I've never seen anything like that. But anyway, to make a long story short, when I started, remember, I called myself trying to get on board with a loved one that started basically once I looked it over. Loved one that was no longer took sugar and a lot of carbs, and it's just so much stuff out of their diet. And that's when I took it on, and I started feeling better within a day, and then 2 days led into 2 weeks, and my mentality changed, right? And so this little quick recipe, the little turnip pizza recipe, it reminded me so much of I really don't know what I would have done had it not been for the eating lifestyle, because I was thinking about it. I was like, well, even had it been a situation where I until my mentality changed, if I were to have been eating, remember, I was eating the consumption of 4 grown adults, and then consuming the amount of sugar of box of donuts, bag of cookies, and candy treats, and this, that, and the other. And at the end of the day, I was still craving sugar. That's just how bad it had gotten for me. It was wilderness through and through. And I was thinking that the way this eating lifestyle is, even had it been a situation where I had not adjusted to eating less, but changing the things that I ate. So even had it been a situation where, just like I'm going to give you this recipe for the miniature turnip pizzas, had it been a situation where I was consuming maybe 6 or 7 burgers, or the mock chicken salad, these pizzas, maybe I was eating 10, until I could get my quantity down. But look at what I was consuming, just like the chickpeas. You're talking about chickpeas. The eating lifestyle, it's consumed mostly with broccoli, cauliflower, beets, mushrooms, things like that. It's meat friendly, but at the end of the day, it's mostly comprised of vegetables. And I'm going to get on to the other side. I'm using a lot of cheese, but nevertheless, I can take the cheese and get some cashews, and it's comprised of walnuts, pecans. I think I'm going to do a raw chili today, which will be comprised of bell peppers, onions, pecans, and things like that. So even had I not conquered the quantity size quickly, the things that I was consuming, it still would have gotten me to what I hope is a good place. And now I'm venturing to get off into the exercise component, which is really shocking to me, because like I told you, I graduated from summer school, from high school. I didn't graduate because I needed credits in English or math or science or anything like like that. I graduated in summer school because I had to make up 4 years of gym. Gym was just an extra lunch period to me. That's just how much I hated exercise. And up here until recently, I still did. And so getting to a point, my mentality is definitely changing already as it relates to exercise, because hate is a strong word. I shouldn't say that, but I just really, 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 really had a dislike for exercise. And so now that, it's a situation where it's not vanity, it's my health, there's the luxury of shortcuts is completely out of the window for me. It's down to, it's real for me. The long way home is just there's no other way to get there. But anyway, to make a long story short, and so at the end of the day, I almost felt like, after I sat and I pondered it and I thought about it, I was like, it was almost like the vegetables and the exercise was saying to me, come on, we'll help you get home. You know what I'm saying? Because had it not been for, because I'm just, to thy own self be true. I'm never going to be one of those individuals that's why deprivation it was key to me immediately. And it had to be a lifestyle, because I love food, and I'm never going to be one of those ones that eat a small salad and maybe consume 3 or even 4 of them in a day. That's never going to work for me. I'm always, I believe, I'm always going to want some French fries at one point, and that's another recipe that I want to give you. I chop up the turnips into wedges, and delve them into some almond flour or oat flour. And remember, you know how I do the oat flour. Just grab me a thing of oatmeal and put it in the put it in the put it in the blender. But anyway, to make a long story short, I'm never going to stop loving French fries. I'm never going to stop loving cheeseburgers. I'm never going to stop loving pizza and things like that. And I know that's horrible, because so many people eat clean, and I just respect them for that. You know what I'm saying? But my personality yields to staying in your own lane, and I'm just never going to be able to eat like that. You know what I'm saying? And so it is what it is. I love food so much. I love other people, watching other people eat. I know that's horrible, right? But like I say, to thy own self be true. But anyway, to make a long story short, that I was just trying to tie that in, humanity. We can all sometimes get in the wilderness. Maybe for some it may not be eating. It may be some other things where where you find yourself getting caught up. But I'm going to give you the recipe, and then I'll tie up the ending. So yesterday, what I did what I usually do, as far as I use the bread recipe, and I've given you that a million times, right? All that is maybe not quite a half a box of cream cheese, maybe just a little bit less. You put that in a bowl, and then you put in maybe about a fourth of a cup of, or maybe a little bit more of a fourth of a cup of block cheese. And with the cheeses, where I get my cheese, they're real small, and I had to reel myself back in. Most of the block cheeses that you get at the grocers, they're a lot thicker and they're a lot longer. So you might want to go not with a half, maybe a fourth. And so you'll put that in a bowl, and then you'll put it in the microwave. I put in maybe about a tablespoon of Italian seasoning. Humanity, I tell you, that Italian seasoning is really, really awesome. Well, at least to me. And then I put in maybe about a half a teaspoon of black pepper. And remember, we've gone through the spoons. The tablespoon is the larger of the spoons. The teaspoon is the smaller of the spoons. And so you'll put that in for maybe a count of 70. When you hear it popping, you need to take it out and stir it. Or if it doesn't look like it's almost spreadable, maybe put it in for maybe about another count of maybe 5. Then you take it out, and then you put in maybe about 4 to 5 tablespoons of oat flour. And if it's crumbly, once it starts stiffening up, it should mimic dough immediately. The minute the flour hits it should start mimicking dough. And the reason why I say 4 or 5, because I found that sometimes if I put a little bit more flour, it gets crumbly, and you don't want that, because that means that it's not going to stick together, and you want that flour to be like an adhesive, like a glue. And so anyway, I took some what do you call that? Parchment paper. I took that and I got a pen and I made circles, small circles. And all I did was took the rolling pin. I took two pieces, and one for the bottom, one for the top, and I drew on the bottom circles. And so after you get your circular formation, you may be able to just maybe get maybe you have a small pan, and after you roll it out, you can make your form your small circles with a little pan, a saucer or whatever, who knows. But that's the way I did it. So I made the circles on the parchment paper. I rolled it out, and then everything, when the dough went over the circles, the the mixture is so pliable, you can just take your fingers and just make it be conducive to the circles that you make. And so it should line up perfectly. And I put that in the oven. I preheat your oven to 375, and I baked it for maybe 5 or 6 minutes. And then after I took it out, I had already had my you can one baked turnip is good. If you're making four, if you're making two like I did, I think maybe half of the baked turnip is good. And so I already had to the side half of my baked turnip. I already had it chopped, a whole tomato washed and chopped. I had that to the side, and all I did was, garnished my the circles, the two circles that I had. I garnished them with the turnips, the tomatoes, and if you have some onions, that'll be good too. Or if you want to put some bell peppers, remember the personalization and the customization is key. And make it to your liking. And then I put on a dash of before I put anything on, instead of pizza sauce, I use the buffalo wing sauce. You can use pizza sauce, it's cool. You take a tablespoon and you just go all around the circumference of the circle. I went around it with not with pizza sauce, but with the buffalo wing sauce. And you can, like I say, you can use pizza sauce. And so then I put on my vegetables. Like I say, you can put on as many vegetables as you want. You can even put in mushrooms. I didn't have any, so I went with the turnips and the turnips and the tomatoes and the onions. And then I sprinkled on a fourth of a teaspoon on each piece of the Italian seasoning, some pepper, and just a pinch of salt on each. And I baked that because remember, your dough, that's cheese, that's comprised of nothing but cheese, so you have to be careful or it'll burn. So maybe about 3 to 4 to maybe 5 minutes, depending on your appliance. And and of course, you're gonna top everything with mozzarella cheese. You decide on how much mozzarella cheese you want to use. I used maybe about 2 tablespoons, and that was for both. But you can decide on how much. Oh, how much pizza that you'll like. Okay, with that being said, humanity, I just simply wanted to say this one last thing because I have to go. At the end of the day, if you are in the wilderness, know that the whole world has embracing arms to say, "Come on, we'll show you the way," or we'll be a listening ear. We'll sit with you. We'll talk with you. We'll do whatever we need to do to be there for you. And I know you might say that the world just doesn't seem to be that way, but it took a long time for me to look hard enough to see. So this weekend, I hope you'll look hard enough to see. You got brothers and sisters out here that are with embracing arms, wishing you the absolute best. Have a beautiful weekend, remaining weekend. Take care, humanity. Bye.